Saul began his reign surrounded by expectation. He was strong, brave, and soon won the battle against the Ammonites, earning the trust of the people. There was celebration, hope. Israel finally had a king. But over time, obedience gave way to haste, and faith gave way to pride. One time, faced with the threat of the Philistines, Saul saw his army fear and retreat. Samuel had said that he would come in 7 days to offer sacrifices. But the prophet delayed, and Saul, impatient, decided to make the offering himself. As soon as he finished, Samuel arrived. He looked at Saul and said, "You have acted foolishly. The Lord has sought a man after his own heart." Saul's disobedience opened cracks in his reign. He still won battles, still marched with strength, but something had changed. God no longer saw him as before. On another occasion, God ordered him to completely destroy the Amalekites. Saul won, but spared King Agag and the best of the flock. When Samuel confronted him, Saul tried to justify himself. He said he would sacrifice the animals to the Lord. But the prophet replied, "To obey is better than sacrifice." That was when the kingdom began to crumble. Samuel, saddened, wept for Saul. But God called him. "How long will you mourn for Saul? Get up, I have chosen another." While Saul was still reigning, God sent Samuel to Bethlehem. In a simple house, full of strong and imposing sons, the prophet was guided by God to the least of them. David, the shepherd. Still young, with lively eyes and a pure heart. "This is the one," said the Lord. And Samuel anointed him right there, far from the palaces, far from the king's eyes. The Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and a distressing spirit troubled him. The servants suggested calling someone who knew how to play the harp to calm the king. They brought David. And when he played, peace returned to Saul's tormented heart, without the king knowing that this young man would be his successor. Meanwhile, the Philistines were threatening Israel again. In a valley between the mountains, a giant warrior was challenging Israel, Goliath. For 40 days he mocked and demanded a champion. No one had the courage to face him, until David, sent by his father only to bring food to his brothers, heard the insults. Indignant, he asked, "Who is this uncircumcised man, that he should defy the army of the living God?" They tried to dissuade him, but David insisted. He refused to wear armor. He took 5 stones and went to meet the giant with a sling in his hands. Goliath laughed, but David replied, "You come against me with sword and spear. I come against you in the name of the Lord of hosts." He threw the stone. It hit Goliath in the forehead. The giant fell. And with his own sword, David defeated him. Israel rose up in shouts of victory. David became a hero. Saul, initially delighted, began to hear the people sing, "Saul has killed thousands, David tens of thousands." And what was admiration turned into envy. Thus began a long and troubled relationship between the rejected king and the chosen shepherd. Saul's time was coming to an end, and David's was just beginning. Keep following the channel to watch the next episodes of the Spoken Bible. From Eden to Revelation, together on this journey of faith and history.